What is going on, Wolfpack Nation? Welcome to the Tuffy Talk live show, y'all. We are here, and we are rolling, and we are sitting here in the fields. Let's put that. We're happy. You know. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know. Hey, we're still state fans. We're still living and breathing. You know, there's still a lot of other good going on, but you know, after coming off of you know, being in Durham on Saturday night, you know, it still hurts for sure, and we're definitely going to be diving all into that. And just like we have advertised, it's definitely going to be a little bit more of a real conversation here for sure, and we'll dive deep into that. But first and foremost, got to take care of a big piece of news here. Is obviously you'll see 5 people here, but one of them is not making, it's somebody else. And we are announcing here today that about a couple weeks ago, we had put out a position opening to try and get another member of the Tuffy Talk team here. And we have here Lindsay Ware with us. Lindsay, welcome to the Tuffy Talk team.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I grew up a State fan. This is my team. So looking forward to getting to know all of you here on the stream, everybody who follows us, and keep growing Tuffy Talk.
Absolutely.
What?
So real quick, Lindsay, you know, let's you know, I mean, you know, some people may know you. I know it's even still in your Twitter as well. So I mean, let's go and get the cat out of the bag. You know, if people think you hired some rival person, and because I mean, you know, again, somebody's going to comment, Lindsay, and so let's just go ahead and address it now.
I guess we got to get it out there before you guys stalk and expose me. I am a UNC alumni, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? I know.
I was not aware of this.
I just want to make sure. Hold on, it's time for dad jokes. I just want to make sure she's not a wolf in sheep's clothing.
That was clever. Yeah. So my parents both went to State in the 90s. I grew up a diehard State fan. I have all of the pictures of me in my State gear, literally a picture of me in the hospital wearing an NC State hat when I was like a newborn. But I wanted a journalism degree. And for those of you who don't know, State does not have a journalism program. So I had to break my parents' hearts, go down the road to Chapel Hill.
I majored in journalism.
What'd you say?
I majored in broadcast journalism at State.
Yeah, but it's not like, it's not like, I'm not a broadcaster. But anyways, so I had to break my parents' hearts, I know. But you'll still catch me at every sporting event. My boyfriend goes to State. My brother goes to State. Shout out to them. That's still my team. It's just the embarrassing family secret that I am a UNC alumni, guys. So apologies Lindsay, across the board, but not a wolf in sheep's clothing. Have been a State fan since day one.
So would it be safe to say that those that can't get into NC State go to Carolina?
I got into both.
Okay.
Chose Carolina. Okay, yeah. Which also broke my parents' hearts that I still applied to State, got in, and then
you're lucky they still claim you.
Worse, I think.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, Wolfpack Nation, all those listening in, is we'll have to make Lindsay work for it. You know what I mean? Just really do some Uber coverage of NC State and make up for it. And hey, give her trivia questions as well. Like, you know, we need to, test her knowledge as well a little bit here too. So
shoot, I literally I'm planning out like a announcement post in my Tuffy Talk gear, and I compiled pictures of me throughout my childhood, like at State events, in my NC State merch. I'm like, I can't get exposed for being a UNC alumni, and people will be like, oh, she's just like hopping on. So
I mean, we're not stupid, Lindsay. We know Photoshop exists.
True. But I'm not really good enough at Photoshop to do that. I wish I was.
Fair. Me either. Hey, real quick, you got a question in the chat. Your first official question on Tuffy Talk. What is your Twitter handle so people can get
my Twitter handle? I will drop it in the chat here. It's at Lindsay, my first name, Ash, my middle name, and an underscore.
There we go.
I think it went in the chat.
Perfect. Yep. And Carson coming in here saying it really depends on the major, though. State and UNC are very different with regards to what they offer academically. Yeah,
definitely.
If you go to UNC for engineering, it's a little bit different than if you go to NC State for engineering. So
exactly.
So yeah, again, like, if you're trying to be a doctor, I would say maybe NC State's maybe not. I mean, you can, but it's
a longer route. Yeah,
it's an interesting route. Yeah. That is a fist pump move for sure. If you do,
they're called veterinarians.
Now vet school though, like
the vet school's killer.
Yeah, vet school's killer. So
they're just animal doctors.
Amen. But anyway, y'all, well, thank you all so much for tuning in here, y'all. We are going to be diving deep into it here today as there is, again, that glaring topic staring us right in the face here, but gotta give a shout out to some.
We're trying to avoid it so badly.
I know.
Tell us more about yourself, Lindsay. We got 52 more minutes to fill. Tell us more.
What
was your third
Lindsay's life story?
Yeah. But anyway, y'all. So you know what? I think for a lot of it here, again, got some comments here about us. Let's just jump right to it, y'all. So NC State loses number 17 Duke 24-3 in Durham on Saturday night. And first and foremost, y'all, let's just go ahead and get the good out of the way. Got to give a huge shout out to Wolfpack Nation, man. Like, it was absolutely a phenomenal turnout, to say the least. I mean, just like, I think there was expectations and a good feel that we'd be able to do it. But I mean, I literally had a Duke fan even basically lean over to me. I was jokingly being like, "This is a Duke home game, right?" And I busted out laughing, being like,
"Our student section took over Duke's."
Our student section definitely took over their student
before
section.
Even Duke students got there, and I'm like, that was impressive. I was really
insane.
So shout out to the student section that was in Durham on Saturday.
Most of the blue were actually empty seats.
Exactly.
Ooh,
the Wolfpack chant was louder than whatever the heck they do. We are Let's Go Duke, I think it is.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it. So
right.
Yeah.
That's something interesting is even as Duke gets better, it seems like their students aren't super into it. You don't see a lot of people showing up to Duke football games. Knowing people who go to Duke, I know it's not a huge game day, but for State it always is. Somebody here in the comments said, "What a great job by Wolfpack fans Saturday night showing up. The fan base deserves better." Yeah, I will say State fans always show out, like rain or shine, good or bad, they're there. So major respect for that.
I was saying posted on Twitter afterwards, we don't realize how lucky we are to have Carter Finley. Like, I walked into Wallace Wade and I was like, this is, no offense, but this is small. And it was the pregame was quiet. I was like, the band came out. I did respect the band letting us have our little shine for State's band.
There's a teeny tiny band though, no color guard. My wife pointed that out.
I was just like, dang, like the pregame, you can't even hear yourself talk at Carter Finley before the team even comes out. So it's like I think we take Carter Finley for granted a lot.
Yeah. For reference, Ken's, you mentioned it's only 40,000, so yeah, it's about 18,000 smaller than Carter Finley. So that definitely will play into that.
35,000 were State fans on Saturday.
If sure felt like it.
Yeah, no, and I mean, again, I mean, like it was nice, and I mean, in terms of, I mean, like it was fresh for sure. But I mean, that Duke money, you would expect that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of size, definitely wasn't there. But anyway, y'all. So so yeah, again, huge shout out to Wolfpack Nation, phenomenal for sure. But I gotta say, y'all, I mean, I also gotta. It's kind of funny thinking about like Locked On Wolfpack and Pack Pride and those guys doing a post game podcast right after the game. I'm sitting here saying. It would have been.
I'm glad we wait till Monday.
I'm glad we wait until Monday.
Let it boil down.
I'm smiling to an extent right now, but I mean, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here once we jump into a certain topic here, because I mean, again, I was a football equipment manager, man. Like I've been there from the beginning. So I've been a piece of this program building, and what I've seen specifically on Saturday. Particularly for me, pisses me off for sure. And again, we'll dive into that a little bit later. But
there's definitely a reason I have a 24-hour social media. Like I'm off of it for NC State after losses because those emotions are raw, and exactly. I never want to say something that I'm gonna regret because it's in print.
So. Yeah, absolutely. But got to give a shout out to Drew, who I. during the fair work a couple of shifts in the mini donut stand, and happened to meet Drew, come by to buy some donuts. So Drew, pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Really do appreciate it, and appreciate all of our amazing supporters as well, y'all. But all righty, so if y'all don't mind, I want to say a couple things here real quick, y'all. So first and foremost, y'all, everybody knows that obviously for me, I've always been the person, it seems like every single live stream, to actually be the one to push a positive Doran narrative, even if it hasn't necessarily been brought up, but being like, y'all, like, we need to give this man some respect for sure. But I'll be the first one to say that definitely coming out Saturday, even right now, but even like more raw on Saturday, I was supremely disappointed. Never would have expected a loss like that. More of it because of the fact that going to that game, like I know there were wolves, right? But to me, when Riley Leonard officially got announced as out for the game, I kind of expect that to be like blood in the water, and where the Sharks be like, oh, like it's a wounded opponent. Oh, let's go get him. And then we come out, we pop them right in the mouth early. We get an interception, get the ball all the way at the 40-yard line, and you're like, oh, yep, nope. Literally, that animal is
and then they came
bleeding. It is time. Like that at that moment right there, you could finish the game right there. You could just deliver the final blow right there, just gut punch, game over. There's no way with a backup quarterback that Duke is going to be able to find their way out. And then it's going to be all momentum and safe for the rest of the game. And then on that next drive, guess how many yards do we get? -1 yards. We get -1 yards of offense on that next drive, which is it's just crazy to me because also too on top of it, what do we do the first play? A jet sweep to Keon Lesane. Second play, a run by DeMarcus Jones, and a third play, a pass to Keon Lesane. And I'm sitting here saying, like all week you wait to you basically come up with openers basically, which is on your first offensive drive. Here's the first couple plays that are going to be run. Your script, just to kind of get the guys going, get them into a rhythm, get them ready to go, so that way they know, this is how the game is going to start, and then we're going to just figure it out as we go from here. And those are the first 3 plays you come up with. Like, I don't understand why it is that this coaching staff is so intent on getting the ball to Keon Lesane. Again, hey, listen, I love Keon Lesane, the person. I've met him. I did the Murphy Center tour with him. Have gotten a chance to speak with him. Great young man. A good leader from have heard nothing but good things about him. But at the end of the day, y'all, he's just not been effective. He has not been effective, and I simply just don't get it. Like even that third. I mean, first of all, let's talk about that run. The run. He basically just danced along the line of scrimmage. He never made a move to go upfield, which is again what's so frustrating, because I'm sitting here like grow some what's and cut north and let's go get 2 or 3 yards, go. And he never did it, never pulled the trigger. And then that third down pass, the pass was a little bit high. Why? Because he had a linebacker. MJ Morse had a linebacker underneath. He had to get the ball over, and then it hit both of his hands. It went right through his hands, and he let it go. So again, it just, to me, that combined with the amount of penalties, which we'll talk about.
Oh my God!
5 total drops in the first half alone. Like, it is so clear as day this team was not locked in, and I don't understand why. Like, I still think about to this day, 2021 Clemson, saying to myself, that to me was a game, was a program changing win, because to me, when you miss that field goal at the end of regulation, any other time that would have been game over. We're not going to find a way out of it. Like, that was our opportunity. Like, it's over. But yet we still went into overtime and found a way to win. It was tough, but we found a way to win. And I sat there saying, we have finally, hopefully now, learned how to win. And then after the next year, after, you go 7, or I guess the year before, you go 7-3 in the ACC, first time winning 7 games in the ACC. Like, you're over the last few years, like that's the biggest thing I've said about Doeren, is that if you look at the whole picture, you've seen a build upwards. Now I know that, again, we haven't had, a top 5 win, top 3 win. I get that for sure. But at the end of the day, there's still some things as a program you could hang your hat on. And right now I'm saying, with the transfer portal the way it is, there is zero excuse for us to lose with the talent that we have this year still to a backup-led Duke team. There is zero reason we should have lost that game, as we got crushed. 24-3 does not really show how,
it seems like it should have been more than that. It looked how it felt. I thought they were up 45.
Because there's no doubt that Duke took their foot off the gas. They played to basically just ride out the game, run out the clock, and get the win. And now, again, I mean, I will say again with the defense, if you take out those 2 plays, yes, they play solid. Okay, fine. But
can't take them out though.
But again, literally the Duke, the quarterback, Henry Bellin, the fourth, completed 4 passes. So isn't that funny that Henry Bellin IV completed 4 passes, and 2 of those passes were for touchdowns. The other one, and then one of them was for an interception. Like it's mind-boggling that, again, it's just my biggest frustration right now is that, again, we should have done more during the offseason. And honestly, one name too, which I want to ask you guys about, that I've been listening to a lot of post-game podcast stuff. And the one name which I am surprised we have not heard at all, at least to me, Joker Phillips. Why is the name Joker Phillips not gotten brought up? I don't get it. Like we talked a lot about.
Ready, go.
There we go.
I think
Thank
it
you,
is,
the second one.
Well,
please
but again,
let me go. Please let me go.
But hold on, Mackenzie. There ain't no way you can fire TJ after his first, because also too, because pass blocking wise,
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about our O line. Our O line is terrible.
But again,
yeah, I mean, we haven't done a good job.
You got to give TJ a time. You got to give TJ time to bring in his guys.
1,000%.
You could be pissed off an offensive line, but firing TJ is not going to be that.
He inherited this. Joker's been here for a few years,
and
it's just not it.
Well, but again, Joker has between Keon Lassane, Porter Rooks, they have not developed. Porter Rooks, his first year in 2020, like that guy was specifically at the Virginia game, like he stood out. That to me is kind of the game where I was like, whoa, watch out for Porter Rooks. This year, like he literally ran 30 routes yesterday. We threw the ball to him one time. He had 0 catches. He literally was out there just as a garden gnome, basically, just taking up space. That's all he was. Like on Saturday, unfortunately, Porter Rooks, this guy who's a redshirt junior, he was a garden gnome or Saturday. 30 routes ran, 1 target, 0 catches. And then Keon Lassane, a redshirt senior, and dropping balls all over the place. He has just been absolutely ineffective. So frustrating. And everybody's saying, well, look at Kevin Concepcion. Joker had nothing to do with Kevin Concepcion the way he is right now. He has nothing to do with it. 0. And Rosner, oh my gosh, there's nothing, in my opinion, that, and again, I'm saying this lovingly, knowing that, again, I know Joker Phillips has a family, but it's part of the business. It's business. And I'm sitting here saying Joker Phillips so far has not gotten it done. Even Kelvin Harmon came on Twitter and said, we used to thrive and used to have
our pride of our offense.
The wide receivers used to be the pride of our offense. Kelvin Harmon, Steph Lewis, Jacoby Myers, Emeka
Messi, Thayer Thomas. We can keep going on, but this is an hour show. So,
but again, where you can't hang your head on a true freshman wide receiver. So, okay, all right, y'all. Who wants to talk first? Feel free.
I think Ken's is chomping. So let's her a moment.
I am so tired of the penalties. The pre-snap penalties, I don't understand it. Stay still. Literally, just stay still. And it's always the same 2 people. I adore them to death. Love them with my whole heart. But Coop and AB, I don't know what's going on. It's always either 74 or 56 that has a false start. All the time. And I don't understand, if it happens every game, why is it continuing to happen? What's going on that's making it continue to happen? And it's also Trent Penix. Why are we not seeing him more? Why? Yeah, Richard, come back. And the hate on MJ. Everybody in here knows I was Team MJ from the jump, and I will continue to be Team MJ going forward. But yes, an interception or 2 that he's thrown are his fault. But y'all aren't looking at the on-point passes that have been completely dropped. Right through the hands, completely missed. And it's we can't just look at the negatives that some of these guys are doing. We have to look at the full picture. Wide receiver core is not how it should be. Our corners got absolutely smoked against Duke. And I genuinely don't understand what happened on both sides of the ball. Peyton Wilson finally got going in the second quarter. I mean, we all knew he was going to step up, but it's just I don't understand how some of the decisions that are made to, Dilbert Mims last week had a phenomenal game. Didn't see him until the second quarter against Duke. So it's I don't understand how some of these guys that are balling out weeks before aren't getting that time to play.
Yeah, you can't get them in a rhythm. It doesn't make sense.
It's you finally get our offense on momentum. Delbert and MJ were thriving. Casey and MJ were thriving. And then you're just going to throw in Mark Jones, and it's like, okay,
Jones.
Yeah, well, yeah, he goes by Mark.
Oh,
he got on to me when I called him DeMarcus last time. And it's just, I'm confused about the whole situation, honestly.
I have a half serious, half joking question, but is there any way we can turn Peyton Wilson into Travis Hunter? Like, can he play tight end, like fullback, something?
He could.
Oh yeah, I know he could. I know. I mean, thank God for Peyton Wilson. I mean, honestly, he is truly developed. I know this isn't where the conversation was going, but it's been on my mind. Like thank God we have him. I mean, he literally is the face, the voice, the heart, the soul, everything about NC State football right now. If it wasn't for him, I honestly don't know where this team would be. I mean, it would be probably 1,000 times worse than what we're currently seeing. The fact that he has the it's not really courage or whatever, but he's saying the things that need to be said, and that
up a lot more this year.
Exactly. So I know we're kind of being negative Nancy's, but not really. But I just wanted to just like kind of lift him up because, damn, that dude is a baller, like on many levels. So anyway,
and MJ's comment. MJ put on Twitter today about how they put him and Peyton Wilson's stats on against Duke. And MJ said winning is way better than anything I do. And it's like those guys that we have as our captains. I mean, we have perfect captains. Brennan Armstrong, things that he said. Like, we have great captain. It's just like everybody on that team has to step up and realize, hey, these guys are balling out every day for us. We need to do that as well. Like, we need to go out and give it our all.
Major shout out to Peyton. Somebody said earlier on in the chat here, it seems like there's only 5 people on our entire team that show up each week. And Peyton always shows up. Again, where would we be without him? And NC State got higher marks from 7 of their defensive players on Saturday than any offensive player. Obviously, they were led by Peyton Wilson there. And that's just a crazy stat. Yeah, we have to shout out Peyton for what he's doing to attempt to hold this whole thing together. It's easy to focus on the negative, but he is really holding the whole thing together at this point.
And if you don't mind me saying one thing, because I think this is maybe a little bit of a controversial take that I
wait, your first one tonight?
I know, right? But
he doesn't even want to say it now,
right?
We're gonna have to wait.
Cliffhanger.
Too controversial.
Come back next week.
YouTube cut them off.
The suspense is building up.
I know, right? They said his take was too controversial. He's got to wait till next week if he wants to still say it.
YouTube already got him.
We just got demonetized. Michael, you really haven't chimed in, so just kind of give us your 2 cents there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess starting with offense, I didn't think MJ played that bad. He did struggle when under pressure, but that's going to come with being a young quarterback. I mean, that's just things you learn how to deal with the pressure and where your dump offs are and stuff like that. So, but I mean, the receivers, it wasn't just drops; it was drops. It felt like every drop was on a 3rd down that would have been a 1st down. It just killed any momentum that we had, which wasn't much, but
it's like every time we get a worse taste of it, they would just kick. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Leighton. I dare ask you your controversial take because I don't know if we can take
that was the most perfect timing of all time. Anyway, but I honestly think that I say this lightly, but I think that a lot of people that really brought the house down on Brennan Armstrong, to a point, he deserves an apology to his sort, because of the fact that it's so obvious after Saturday, the issues with the offense have always been far beyond Brennan Armstrong, far beyond it. Again, I mean, even with the MJ-led offense, only scored 3 points, and so that's just kind of one of the first things that came to my mind, being like, again, just like all the ravaging boos towards Brennan Armstrong, when again, it's glaringly obvious. And because I'm not saying that Brennan Armstrong should still be the starter or that we shouldn't have switched from him. But what I am saying is that, I mean, the glaring just obnoxious, just overhauling being of people against Brennan Armstrong, instead of really focused much more big picture, maybe they just didn't realize that, again, the problems with the offense were far beyond Brennan Armstrong. And
I mean,
again,
I don't think any State fan realized that, like what Kelvin Harmon said, no State fan would ever sit preseason and be like, oh, the problem in our offense is going to be our wide receivers. Like, that's not
like this.
No, that's usually a thought that comes to your head because of all the amazing ones we've had in the past.
Right. So. Yeah, but we kind of saw that, some of the questions on offense was going to be the wide receiver group and the offensive line, and those have definitely been problematic. And by the way, Leighton, that was not a controversial take, so I don't know why you got froze. But because I have jokingly said when MJ was named the starter, I said, can he catch? Can he block? Because again, those are the same things that keep rearing its head. Like Brennan did make some mistakes, but he wasn't the reason why we were losing those ball games. I mean, other than, you can maybe kind of put the Notre Dame one on him some, but the Louisville, Louisville, was it Louisville his last game? I don't even remember now. I try to forget about these losses.
Losing the pit,
yeah. But yeah, I just think it's an overall ineffectiveness of this offense, and it's just much deeper than the quarterback play. Bottom line, it's just not that. There's so many glaring things that are out there. We could spend a whole episode just talking about what's not working and clicking on the offense. We
do need to shout out our kicker, though.
Yeah.
That kick, I genuinely right then was like game sealed. Like, I genuinely thought that was going to give all the momentum we needed. The fact that that's far. Isn't that the farthest we've gotten?
Program history record.
So it's like,
that was his personal long as well, because he had only kicked a 54-yarder up until that point. So,
and it was that feel like that would have been good from 59-60.
He
killed that ball. So big shout out to him.
Well, like Leighton said, you thought, or at that moment you had all the momentum, and then they come out and they punt right after that, and you're like, okay, and then we punt, and then it was game over because it was 2 plays, 90 yards, touchdown, and yeah.
No, go ahead, Ken.
How do you feel about some of the calls that were called? Pass interference calls.
I'm not even gonna waste.
The refs were terrible. But
I'm not.
We didn't play well enough to even complain about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we weren't even in the game to be like that was a factor.
What I'm saying is that one that wasn't that pass interference that wasn't called, that could have given us momentum right there. That was literally at the 5-yard line. So it's like that catch would have been huge for us. It was just some of those calls that, like, we were right there about to get 3rd and 2, about to go out, and then false start. We had to move back. So it's just like the penalties are just killing us right now, and it's insane.
There were 2 roughing passer calls they didn't call on MJ when they called the one on
roughing the kicker,
whatever his name is.
For us, that one was ridiculous.
They were bad, but
if we had that penalty against Louisville, then we should have got that one.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. But I do want to bring up Hayden's a comment here saying too much rotation, got to cut down on playing everybody. Like we did that, but I'm honestly saying at this point, besides Kevin Concepcion and besides MJ Morris, spots open. Like, even the fact that Anai in the post practice press conference before last week basically came out with a comment saying, if anybody else besides Kevin Concepcion wants to step up, I'm here for it. Like, that's not exactly what he said, but that's basically what he said. Like, please, by all means, I'm waiting.
What he said. Yeah,
that's pretty much what he said. Like, come on down. Like, it's just, and it goes to somebody also said down here too, talking about that. Yeah, there's no doubt that unfortunately with Dorn, we're facing kind of some faults in terms of from a recruiting standpoint. Just unfortunately the recruiting talents just haven't quite phased out to what they were expecting it to be.
Yeah, so we were in a good spot the last couple of years, and all of a sudden the talent level just fell off this year, right? With graduation, attrition, we had a couple of transfers. Yeah. Like, if you have Devin Carter on this team still, he could have masked a few things, but we're not going to play the woulda shoulda. You can't talk about people that are not here, but you just haven't done a good job plugging holes. And I think, the portal has, we just haven't done a good job, at least on the offensive side of the ball. I think we've done a nice job on the defensive side, plugging some holes. We've had some nice transfer portal guys. Offensively, I don't even know one. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, we thought maybe Rosner would be that guy, but he hasn't for whatever reason. And this isn't a Bash Rosner, quote or, comment, but it's just so many different pieces that are just not working. And so you to blame one person would not be fair to the others, because it truly is a collective failure at least on the offensive side of the ball.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I just think that some people, like a lot of people are talking about, like a lot in the Discord today was talking about terrified that recruits are going to leave. And it's like, yes, that can happen. But honestly, I feel like they've seen what's going on. They know what's happening behind the scenes that we don't. And some of them still look like they're fully 100% committed. So don't blame this season on that.
So let's go back full circle. Go ahead, Michael.
Pause real quick, y'all. We're gonna this topic is in the mailbag, y'all. So let me jump on over to mailbag and we'll continue this conversation. Let's do it, y'all. Let's jump on Tuffy's mailbag, y'all. Here we go. All righty. Yes. So question that came in from Discord: how do we keep our recruits committed with the way this season is playing out?
Michael, can I go ahead, Michael?
Well, I think recruits see opportunity more than anything. That Louisville game where our offense was not quite as bad as Saturday, but almost as bad. We literally got a commitment from a guy who was there in person watching the game.
Yep.
To commit that weekend. So, I think it's a little overblown that you're going to lose the recruits because of that. If they are committed already, they know the system. They've been they've seen it. They've been told how they're going to be used in it, and like I said, I think they see opportunity more than anything, really.
I definitely agree with the opportunity side. I think you tell these guys that there is the opportunity for playing time for young promising players. I mean, look at Kevin Concepcion, who's played a significant amount of time for a true freshman. So I think recruits are seeing this as the rebuilding year. Again, I know we hate saying that. We say, what are we rebuilding towards? What are we rebuilding from? But I think as a young recruit, that's something promising for them to think that they could have the opportunity to play a lot and really make an impact on a team that is kind of struggling.
So I'm going to give an unpopular opinion to this answer, and I'm going to get flame sprayed. You got to keep your coaches.
100%.
That's true too.
I mean,
everybody was like, "Yeah, that's
too."
That's 100%. I know a few commits that didn't come because Tim Beck got their left. So it's like that. It's true. And
that's the unpopular opinion. And then people don't want to keep Dave, and people want to get rid of Joker or get rid of Anai or get rid of, no one's saying get rid of Gibson. That's the one constant that no one is saying. But it's a sad fact that a lot of these kids recruit because of the coaches and the relationships. And if anyone gets let go or leaves or whatever, that's a sure way fire to lose some of these guys, especially we have some stud wide receivers coming and and that's a relationship with Joker, whether people want to admit it or not.
Jonathan Paylor since his freshman year of high school. So
I'm so excited for him to
3.5 years. So that's not nothing.
Yeah. So again, that's the answer, but nobody wants to hear it. And so that comes back full circle. What do you do with the coaching staff? Is that a mailbag question? I feel like I saw that in a mailbag question, but maybe I didn't on the Discord.
Well, and the one thing too, I mean, it's definitely a tough situation in the fact that, again, it's obvious that unfortunately you look at these upperclassmen wide receivers, they just haven't developed. They haven't developed to like the point that Jacoby Myers did. I mean, Jacoby Myers came in as a quarterback and left as one of the better wide receivers NC State's ever had.
Thayer Thomas came in as a walk-on.
Right, and he got developed into another one of the all-time greats. So
exactly.
That'd be kind of that's kind of the both sides of it. Now again, I know a lot of people talking here in the chat about Terrell Anderson, talking about going to Georgia, which I mean, see, Georgia's one of those programs that
we'll see.
we'll see.
That's not a given of our season.
No,
either. That's Georgia. That's Georgia coming in and offering you a scholarship.
Yeah, that's not a byproduct of results.
Honestly. So.
Yeah, no, that's it's Georgia. Like,
I'm sorry, I love State with all my heart, but we can't compete with Georgia money. So you can go.
I don't even think it's their money. I think it's they're back-to-back national champs. That's all you got to say.
Yeah, that too.
Well, and I mean, but when you win national championships, people are more willing to put money into programs. I mean, that's everyone loves supporting a winner. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Got Barton here saying we get Noah Rogers from Ohio State. Watch. I
would love it.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, so that's a fun one. Would you be okay losing Anderson and getting Noah Rogers as a consolation prize? Right. I think you take that. Right.
Yeah. More of because I mean he's had a year under his belt, but I mean,
right.
Too. I mean, well, I mean, they both came out of high school. I mean, again, Noah Rogers is like 125, I think, in the national rankings right now. Like, I mean, he's borderline top 100 recruit, and Noah Rogers was around the same area. So, I mean, they're both coming in as high school prospects. But I think the fact that Noah Rogers, he's already had a year, in the college system, a year of college practices definitely makes a difference for sure. But anyway, again, that was a total long shot. So we won't necessarily discuss that much of a high, what if, but
hypotheticals.
Next question here. Why won't the coaches commit to playing the young? And I know I said twice, catch the mistake there. That's like one of those catch the mistake.
I don't even realize that.
So why won't the coaches commit to playing the young guys like Juice and Timmons more? And I know somebody even asked you, saying where happened with Juice? And where's Juice gone? Has played a ton versus Notre Dame, but hardly any since. And I think it comes down to, I mean, there's no doubt that Doran put a huge emphasis on trying to keep that NBA red shirt, and basically came to the point where he said, "Hey, we need, for the sake of the season, to make a change." And I think with Juice, it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, I know versus Virginia, the interception that Brandon Armstrong threw, it was a misread by Juice. I mean, the only reason why I know that is because right when he went off the sidelines, Anai was lighting up Juice. So I mean, it's obvious he made some kind of an error. Like, he didn't go to Brennan, and I went to Juice, so it made a mistake. So again, a very raw but very talented guy for sure. But maybe just hasn't quite gotten enough grasp of the offense that you guys see what you got with Trent Penix, who, I mean, had a huge game versus Marshall. You still got Chris Tootle, there in the wings, and then you still got all these other guys. So I think that begs, kind of trying to preserve. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I think you were getting ready to say what I was going to say about the red shirt. Maybe at this point, you get some of these young guys to their floor and just red shirted because you can already kind of see the writing on the wall how this season's going to go. I think best case scenario, you're getting to 6-6 with a potential of bowl game. Worst case, you win one, maybe two, none. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, at one point, which I want to make, people, talking about 2019, a little bit, is that 2019, when we start, our starting lineup against UNC was a redshirt freshman Devin Leary, a freshman Zonovan Knight, a redshirt junior Kerry Angeline, redshirt freshman Devin Carter, junior Emeka Mezi, redshirt sophomore Thayer Thomas, a freshman Icky, a redshirt junior Sculthorpe, redshirt sophomore Gibson, junior Josh Fred Jackson, and a redshirt sophomore Bryson Spees. What is the common theme there? No seniors, all young guys that can come back the next season. So that's kind of another side.
The year after that went even with COVID.
Well, yeah, it went 7-3. Or in the ACC, had one of the most successful ACC seasons of all time. So that's what I'm saying is I want to ask you guys and let us know in the comments. Do you guys say, Keon Lisay isn't working out? Let's just scrap it. Go young. Go Raphael. Go Michael Allen. Go. Just move away from the senior guys that aren't working and trying to focus on building for next season.
I think that's a blessing for this bye week, is the fact that now our coaches and players are going to be able to be like, look, obviously this isn't the record we've had for a long time at State. So it's time to put our best players out there. Don't worry about the grade. Don't worry about the age, nothing. Best players on the field, and we'll go from there. I feel like the bye week was placed perfectly with our games coming up, like Clemson, Miami, Wake Forest. That's going to be a hard stretch, honestly. So the fact that, I mean, we get to regroup, and I feel like that first drive against Clemson, we're going to see just what actually goes on behind the scenes that we don't see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think the silver lining in all of this with how everything worked out Saturday is that we did get a bye week at the perfect time when we obviously need it. It's time to regroup, reflect, something's not working, and it's time for a fresh start. Our fans here in the comments seem to agree that it is time to go young. And I think I'm in agreement. I think it's time to regroup in the bye week, figure out what's not working, try out some new faces, and put your best players out there to try to find some kind of success when we come back home Halloween weekend.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be the ultimate trick-or-treat game.
Seriously.
That game could honestly, I mean, yeah, Clemson's not how they have been in the past, but anytime we beat Clemson, that can be a turning point for the rest of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
Come out and just smack them in the throat, then, hey, there we go. We have momentum going into Miami, going to Wake. It's like we can turn it around still. Like Greg said last year, like we have two roads. We have to figure out which one we're going to go down. We're either going to go down one that's going to turn the season around, and we're going to be like, okay, this is what was wrong before has been fixed. We're okay. Or we're just going to continue to have our defense stay on the field the entire game. So,
and Leighton was talking about this a little earlier about how that 2021 Clemson game was a total game changer. That changed the whole season, the whole direction of the team. And yeah, even though Clemson now is not Clemson what they were 2 years ago, it's still Clemson. So I think this could be a huge make or break point in the season. I think if it goes great, again, Clemson still has a really talented defense. They're still Clemson, right? Yeah. So if we win this, I think it could turn the whole season around. We lose, I think that's it. That's kind of this season is going to be what the season's going to be.
I'm going to go back to this comment real quick. Bro, I would love to be Clemson right now. As bad as they are, and it's not even bad.
Yeah, they're bad. Exactly. I would love to be there.
Yeah, they're bad by Clemson
right.
standards, but
yeah. No, we just got off playing a very physical, very good Duke defense. Now what do we get to face? Oh yeah, we get to face Clemson. Perfect. All right. So I mean, yeah, it's the dirt's going to meet the road. And
foosball.
And I mean, unfortunately for Doran, unfortunately for his team, I mean, first of all, I love Peyton and the fact that, all of them said we need to get tougher. And I want to make clear to everybody, if anybody thinks that by tougher, he means like pound on your chest, tough.
No, it's
mental
hard.
tough, mental tough,
because
spiritual tough, man.
You could see them in the third quarter of this Duke game just be like, okay.
Yeah, it was all the energy went out.
Yeah, it's like then that happened against Notre Dame as well. We were right there back in it, and then you just see the entire team just be like, you know what, it is what it is. And
exactly
that can't happen.
They were just there so they didn't get fined.
Exactly. But hopefully they'll realize that, hey, we've seen it before. It's football is 4 quarters. We can come back, just stay in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of like, when you hear, that old additive, you're playing for pride, and I think we might be entering that territory of the season. You're going to find out who really wants to be part of this program. And this is a way where, where Peyton is saying we got to get mentally tougher. It might be time to weed those guys out. Look, if it's a young guy, fine. If it's a veteran, even better. Just go figure the F out. Just go figure it out.
Again, y'all, at the end of the day, it's kind of a tough, it's kind of a tough, in between where you don't want to be Dabo Swinney and Clemson, where you're basically saying, no matter what, I am not going to transfer portal. I'm riding or die with these guys I get, in high school. And then the other side, which is like Deion Sanders, where you're basically just saying, all right, I'm wiping the entire
blow
roster,
it up,
bringing in transfers, all of them. You got to find that middle of the road, just to kind of keep that locker room chemistry, but also to make sure you have the best guys you can and putting the best product you can on the field. And 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 I'm saying right now, I'm saying to every single player, like there is no roster spot guarantee for next season. You got to play, you got to earn your spot.
Who just highlighted that? Honestly,
Greg.
Look, I don't need that. Okay?
We're just trying to bring some levity to the situation, whether it's at your expense or not.
All my teams lost this week.
It's been a rough weekend.
Phillies. Oh my God, I'm back on that. Never mind.
Yeah. So
let's go talk baseball, Leighton. I'm tired of talking. Like, let's go get something positive.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
We kicked this dog bad enough, man.
I agree. And y'all, so at the end of the day, we'll talk more about this during our live show next week too, because obviously, we have a bye week, so we have nothing else football wise more to talk about, or add to than, the Duke game that just happened. So, but yeah, got to give a shout out to our left. Go ahead.
Okay, real quick before we go somewhere else. Shout out to everyone in this chat that is listening to us right now. Like, you guys are ride or die. Either, I don't know if you guys are here because you're so effed and pissed that we are, or you got nothing better to do on a Monday, but we appreciate you because we all are together in on this, right? And so, like, absolutely. We appreciate y'all. Michelle, yes, volleyball also. They got a sweep yesterday over at Virginia Tech.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
All right, volleyball's on top of it. Shout out volleyball.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, hey, we'll get to that there, Christian. Here, go ahead, pop it, Leighton. I'll just let it into this. There you go.
Pop it. What are your expectations for men's basketball this season? And we'll keep this very brief, as we'll actually be doing preview episodes here sooner rather than later. I mean, it's kind of tough to really kind of keep it short though, because like what are your expectations? It's not like a one-word answer, but
competitive.
Lindsay, being that you're first time here, give us your thoughts here. Expectations for men's basketball.
Look, after Saturday, I'm ready for basketball season. I'm ready to wipe my hands with football. We have Casey and DJ coming back for their last season. I've seen DJ around. He seems to be thinning down, increasing his kind of
pounds.
Speed and athleticism. And I'm sure he's going to remain a fan favorite. He is a local celebrity. You see him anywhere on campus. People are pulling out their phones, shouting, just a good guy. We have one true freshman coming in, but I'm really excited to see transfers. I saw someone talking about MJ Rice. Yeah, MJ barely played at Kansas, but he was a McDonald's All-American back in high school and averaged 23 points junior season. I'm excited to see him kind of as a dynamic player who could start at the 2, 3, or 4. And obviously other transfers on that list. We have Michael O'Connell, the point guard from Stanford, Mohamed Diarra, who's just a stellar all-around athlete. And DJ Horn, who averaged 12.5 points per game at Arizona State. So I think we've got a lot of potential there on the transfer portal. Yes, someone said 0 votes in the AP poll that came out today. Unfortunate. But yeah, I think there's potential here. I think we are looking at a basketball program that is moving up, and I'm excited to move on from that and kind of focus on that as we struggle through the rest of football season.
Well,
all right, look, this is fun. I can't, like, this is good. That's a great comment.
Y'all don't hate on DJ, man. He looks good.
He looks great.
But that is hysterical.
Yeah.
Hold on. For those listening, Barb Brown said DJ gained 9 pounds one day at a state fair last year. That's why team is in Wilmington now.
Hey, it could be another BJ Anya situation.
I was just thinking it's not BJ's.
The better he is. I don't want him to lose weight. I want
him I feel that.
The way he is. I want him to stay. No, don't change yourself, DJ. We're body positive over here.
Yeah, right. Look.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, DJ.
Yo, this guy is not body shaming nobody. Look at this body. It's body by
you, and keep putting Armando on his butt. That's all we ask.
There you go.
Simple.
There you go.
Love it.
Somebody said that Duke hype is looking a lot like last year's UNC hype. I don't know. Duke and UNC are riding their football high. I don't know what to expect for basketball season with them, but I'm expecting, or at least hoping, to put up a fight. Again, I think we have a lot of transfer talent coming in, so I think State has the ability to kind of be up there with the big dogs. I'm excited.
And
shifting real quick, I was going to say shifting real quick. We have a Michael Tracy fan in the house.
Michael, I'll back you up. Remember, I got called it too. I got you guys.
Tez Walker scoring. Not really.
How do you feel about
that
those
at all?
touchdowns?
Because we weren't playing them, so I don't really care what he does when he's not playing us.
But in fairness, Michael, you were rooting for Tez, the person and the whole NC.
Yeah.
Like you weren't against him playing. So let's that was never about that. So I'll let you explain yourself.
Yeah, I think UNC set him up to fail getting a waiver because they knew the rules coming in. So I don't know.
Yeah, you were more about the process.
We don't have to get into it.
Yeah, no, you were about the process, not the person.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's just a matter of just equality. Like that's the biggest thing. Just evenness across NCAA, which obviously NCAA per Saucy Days means no clue at all. So
hold on, I hear Obi-Wan's voice. Women's basketball, you're our only hope.
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
shout out women's basketball. Low-key, two commits in 2 days this week. So that was exciting for them. I have hope for the women as well. Don't sleep on the men. Again, I think the men have some good transfer talent, but we did see Lorena Awo, I think is how you say it. If not, my apologies. Just committed as a 6'4" forward.
6'5". Don't cheat her. 6'5".
Oh, hey,
6'5".
Women's basketball said 6'4".
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay.
So maybe they pulled out a measuring tape and said,
"Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair." And then we have Quigley, the 5'11" wing. So yeah, we definitely have some talent coming in there, and they're clearly working on that recruiting after going 20-12 last season and exiting the NCAA tournament early with that first round loss to Princeton. So I do have hope for women's basketball as well, but I would say not to write the men off yet.
No.
I also saw a friend of the program's. I keep calling it a tweet because I'm old, but whatever you want to call it, post. I guess they're posts now.
I'm gonna call it. No,
yeah,
I'm still gonna call it Twitter.
Screw X.
Yeah. We're not pro Elon on this channel.
Right?
Yeah. I did see a post by a friend of the program, Lacey Steele. She was like dropping some buckets in her highlight reel. She's gonna be so good. She was just draining threes. She was making it rain from deep.
Yeah.
I'm excited for basketball season.
Me too.
So you see how we did this? We've shifted from the negative.
Hype up.
I feel like we're UNC now, and I dare say it. We are now turning from football to basketball.
We're a basketball school.
We're a basketball school first.
Natty champs, babe. I'm just kidding.
Someone else asked it for mailbox back in Discord who the ACC sleeper team for basketball is this year. Thoughts? They said FSU. But I think that's kind of a random thought.
I mean,
does anyone else have other?
I haven't really delved into it yet.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I have transfer portal. It's like it could be anybody.
I'm my sports is seasonal to seasonal. I don't really start getting like wrapped up until we start covering it. So
Greg's more of a focus on the next tailgate for football type.
That's fair.
I get that. I get that.
But what we will do is whoever did put that comment in Discord, what we will do is we will make sure. Hey Rick, it's us. We are the sleeper team.
There we go.
Are the Blue Collar Wolves. I like that. I like that. I mean, what is?
Is he? All right. Well, good for him.
Oh, never mind.
Well, thanks for joining us, Rick.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, he's the same one. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's a positive state one.
FSU or NC State. Yeah, I mean,
let's revisit in basketball.
We'll revisit
preview video.
Yeah, we'll make sure we visit on the preview video. So again, we'll be doing a men's and a women's basketball preview episodes here soon. And so make sure to, if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure again hit that free subscribe button, y'all, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out.
There it is.
We're almost 80. Our girls team is fire, and we're and we are a wrestling school. Yeah,
that's 100%
wrestling.
We just smoked Duke in baseball.
Yeah, Rick. How's your wrestling team, Rick? Rick, how's your wrestling team?
10-3, Rick.
Yeah.
Relax.
All right, y'all. Let's jump on over tweets of the week. Here we go. And speaking of tweets of the week, here we got our first power rankings for ACC here, presented by On3. It had NC State at number 6, with Duke number 1, UNC 2, Virginia 3, Clemson 4, Miami 5. And I'm actually surprised that Miami's at 5. I mean, they're bringing a lot back from last year that went to the Final Four. So
yeah,
not sure about Miami being at 5, but But I mean, NC State at 6. I mean, I like it. I think it's a good spot, and I think it's fair. I mean, a lot of hype, a lot of talent.
In the tournament.
I hope so.
I mean, we're usually around 8, 9, 10. So it's a step.
Yeah, improvement.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it's power rankings, not necessarily like predictions.
Yeah, but power rankings is kind of a it's where they think you're going to be. I mean they're rating you the 6th best team so I mean it's kind of the same.
I'll take it more than 8 or 9. So
Amen to that. Amen.
And nice thing is On3 is a national, like that they're respected. It's not like Bob's poll. You know what I mean? Like it's it's a decent publication.
Bob's poll.
So it's got a little bit more
fired at Bob.
Yeah.
Right.
As the kids say, it's got a little bit more street cred than your average poll. So
yeah.
No kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
We love you.
But speaking of though, so I did want to kind of transition. I didn't add in a tweet of the week for this, but I did want to kind of start a discussion real quick on the scrimmages between NC State and Duke on Friday night. And I know Greg, you were there, and again, both dominant wins. I still love. I think it was Steven, the college basketball icon dude, the former UVA pitcher.
Oh, Steven, Sashik or something. I can't say his last name.
Something like that. But but where he got the video of a Duke catcher who I guess subbed in on the NC State side and actually threw out a guy at first. That was hilarious.
It was because he caught for Win Scott and then I don't remember who the first one was, but I saw him go down to the bullpen to catch some bullpen. I thought, oh, he's just be a bullpen catcher because we had our other guy in the lineup, whatever. And then he came out on the field. I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I think he's their third string catcher, and they were just trying to get him some live action. So there was the scrimmage was a little interesting because there was a couple innings where I'm not sure if they batted around or got 4 runs, but there was some innings where they just stopped the inning in the middle of it. Yeah. So, State had a really good showing. On this team, it's a 40-man roster. Half the team is brand new, whether they're incoming freshmen or transfers. So, just to kind of get some guys, some live action to see what you have. None of our normal starters from last year threw anything on Friday. So that's Willitson, Highfield, Whitaker, and Fritton. None of those guys pitched. We threw 7 freshmen total. So really some really new incoming guys from the portal looked really good. Garrett Pennington was hitting some he almost hit for the cycle in the first game. He was a triple short, and that was impressive. AMAC from the ECU transfer. I cannot say his last name yet, so everyone's calling him AMAC. He played nicely. Butterworth at short, another transfer, was smooth defensively. The incoming freshman that really shined was Luke Nixon. He was playing second base, and he had a stolen base, good speed. He was really aggressive on the base pass. He turned a single into a double. That was nice to see. Had some our defense was really, really sharp. Made some nice dabbing catches in the outfield. No errors. So that's
nice. Wait, you're saying an NC State baseball team had 0 errors?
I do not remember an error.
In both games?
I do not remember an error. There might have been one. But they were good. They were solid. Everyone was really good. Some pitchers, pitchers look good. I was excited. Cozy was cozy. He had a couple nice hits. So as we say overall, in the NC State world, we're cautiously optimistic because we cannot get too high, we cannot get too low. So it's really early. The one thing I also will say is you had a lot of different combinations out there. You're just seeing what you were getting. Obviously, it had that been a real ball game, you wouldn't have seen all of the different matchups, and so we did win both games handedly. I don't know if that necessarily translates in the regular season, but it was good for one day.
Yeah, it was really nice to see some new faces out there and kind of see what we are bringing in, even though it wasn't normal games. They cut innings short, things like that. But yeah, we won 10-3 and 5-1.
Yep.
I don't know how that translates to regular season, but shout out to Garrett Pennington again, killed it. He played for the summer team I worked for this summer. Great guy, great player, good transfer pickup. So congrats to him. For those who don't know, he had a 3-run home run in game 1 and then had a 2 RBI double in game 2. So yeah, really good showing from State. And I really like seeing them kind of play this fall ball, kind of try different things out. So again, hopefully that translates to the real season. But like Greg, I'm not getting too optimistic too early.
I mean, I think there's definitely, I will say this about the team. We're going to be a much better pitching team than the last couple of years. And so when you have good pitching, that will keep you in a lot of ball games. This might be a team that scratches and claws 3-1, 3-2, 4-3. Like, I don't know how the bats are going to be. We definitely have pieces. And so that's why I say I am, air quotes for those that are listening, cautiously optimistic.
Because if you don't have pitching, you end up like the Braves.
Hey, taking shots at your own team. I like it.
It made me so mad.
I love it.
I hate it.
All righty. So let's jump on over to our next tweet of the week here. So got to give a huge shout out to, we've already talked about this guy before already, but Peyton Wilson getting announced to Reese's Senior Bowl midseason All-American list. So, we've already, talked enough about Peyton Wilson, how much of a leader and all-around player, amazing player he is for NC State and for this team specifically. And then got to give a shout as well to Savion Jackson, who also got announced as a comeback player of the year, October watch list as well, and rightfully so. Again, a guy that just his whole career has been plagued by injuries. And so far, through the season has been, a phenomenal piece of this defense, statistically putting up great stats.
That's not an easy injury to just bounce back.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. 100% agree. So shout out to both these guys. And then also to had it both lined up already, Lindsay. I thought I'd given you the signal to be like, hold on, but yeah, no. Got to give a shout as well to Devin Quigley and Lorena Awu, both of our women's basketball commits. Getting them both. They actually both visited at the same time. I think it was 2 weekends ago, and there was 3 of them all together. And then the third one was another 4/5 star guard. And so it's just kind of one of those things being like, hey, Devin's committed, Lorena's committed, so come on down. Let's go ahead and finish the three-peat here. So
I don't know how you're 6'4", 6'5" as a woman and not a center, but whatever.
No, 100%. And then also to y'all, just speaking of these outside sports, got to give a shout out to men's and women's swimming and diving, y'all, who got announced today as preseason number 4 in the country, y'all.
They're amazing.
But did you see who 1, 2, and 3 were?
No.
Yeah, it's like Virginia,
like Louisville, else. Georgia Tech. It was all ACC schools.
It's all ACC.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
So 4 is awesome, but you're 4th in the country and you're 4th in your conference. Like that's insane. So
yeah. And yes, Peyton Wilson for Heisman. 100% agree.
I 100% run that campaign.
Yeah. So, but I kind of put out a tweet earlier today being like, could you imagine, like, I'm telling you right now, there is a NC State team that is men's and women's, that both the men's and women's teams are number 4 in the country. And tickets to these events, you think cost $20, $15, $10? No, absolutely free.
Yeah.
It's absolutely free to go see these two teams compete, and you can see them both compete at the same time. It's just, I just can't say enough. And we say all the time, being like, go support these other sports, y'all. Again, women's. Go ahead.
Swimming and diving is really entertaining. If you can watch it,
it's nonstop. Yeah,
everybody watches the Olympics. Same thing.
I crush a belly flop, so I should be on the page.
Oh, Greg.
No,
Greg. Oh, man. But yeah, no, again, y'all, it's seriously just a nonstop action of race after race after race after race. So it is nonstop action for absolutely free, y'all. So make sure to go, and please to go support these men and women. Go support volleyball. Go support soccer. Go support softball. Go support wrestling. Like, go support all of our sports, y'all. There's
pack out volleyball the rest of the season.
Pack out volleyball. They deserve it. They've had a breakout season for sure. I'm excited to see where they can build
Tech
off it.
yesterday, 3-0.
I know. Got to keep it going.
No more talk Phillies in this chat. New rule.
Oh yeah. But anyway, then our last tweet of the week here. Well, I guess we'll kind of do one more, which is kind of more of a housekeeping tweet. But the announcement that the kickoff time for the Clemson game has been placed on hold, on a 6-day hold, along with 3 other AC games as well. So
yeah, the whole dang ACC was.
Yeah, they announced 0 games. So
no, they announced 1. It was the BC UConn game that no one gives a crap about. So. and somehow that got on the ACC ESPN and not the CW, but whatever. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
everybody hating on the CW.
Hey, yo, I love me some Dawson's Creek, so I won't talk any smack about it.
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing.
Oh my God, we're besties.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, though, so yeah, housekeeping there. So we'll see what happens with the Clemson game. So stay tuned on that. But the last quick topic, which I want to kind of spend, 5-6 minutes on, give or take here as we wrap this thing up. So there was a bunch of tweets back and forth talking about NIL and talking about donating towards NIL right now, especially during tough times like this, where, again, football just got their teeth kicked in, from Duke.
Well highlighted.
And Greg, being the NC State connoisseur that you are, do you know where I got the teeth kicked in quote from?
No, it feels like a
anybody in the chat?
Like a Jimbo.
Jimbo who?
Fisher.
No. Well, I didn't know if by Jimbo you were saying it, but who actually was, but Jimmy V actually when he talked about how when he used to hire assistant coaches and how he would get asked do we have a dental plan, and he's like, yeah, if we don't win, the alumni are going to kick our teeth in. And I was like, oh, I love that. So I've used that ever since. But anyway, though,
yep.
So Tom Lavosi, in this one tweet again, who was the runner of Savage Wolves, basically goes into huge tweet here saying no one is asking fans to blindly donate. Keep in mind the people asking for donations, wait for it, are also fans. Like again, Tom Lavosi, Hayes Lancaster, all these guys, they're all fans just like us, but they basically decided to step up, take their time and money, and go put their money where their mouth is, and go be a huge part of starting Pack of Wolves, Savage Wolves, things like that. It's not NC State hired people. It's not university people that's running these
homegrown.
Things. It's fans. Yeah. It's people just like you and me. It's so that's another thing to keep in mind. But they decided to step up. So those that say complain while not contributing anything are comical. We don't do well in NIL, quote unquote. How much do you contribute? Well, nothing, but we don't do it right. LOL. And it kind of goes to a comment that, my mom always told me growing up, which is don't be a part of the problem without offering a solution.
Bingo.
It's like,
words by Kathy.
Yeah. And the other thing, especially with Savage Wolves, and is that, like Tom said, he didn't mention it, but no one's asking fans to blindly donate, because with Savage Wolves, they offer all these different perks. We've got a tour of the Murphy Center. You've got sideline passes. You get autographed memorabilia.
You basically make your money right back.
There's experiences involved with it.
Right. 100%. You're not just sending Venmoing Tom money and that's it.
You're right.
And on the flip side, if you're part of Pack of Wolves, and we're not saying choose one or the other, but they're going to have a basketball legacy event coming up at PNC. So if you're a member of that,
David Thompson, right?
Yeah, with a meet and greet with David Thompson. So go ahead, Clayton. I just wanted to throw that out, but it's worth your time and money.
Well, and the biggest thing, which to keep in mind, is that like Wolfpack Club, I mainly kind of put into two pots: Pack of Wolves / Savage Wolves and Wolfpack Club.
Absolutely,
those are two separate things. Wolfpack Club goes towards scholarships, coaches' salaries, facilities, things like that. Savage Wolves, Pack of Wolves basically goes towards marketing, branding, opportunities for in-state athletes, and also opportunities for them to grow in a professional manner, things like that as well. So go ahead, Greg.
Paul, yeah, I wanted to highlight what you just said because I think that's a very important part of what they are also doing, right? It's not just giving players money to come play with us. You see guys like Shaheem Battle who are working with national brands to build their branding, to develop skills after college, right? You had
Aline started his own Apple Music account and stuff. Sold a lot of music. So,
and I'm trying to think of the women's basketball player. Was it Kayla? Who was it that
Kayla Jones?
No, I'm not. I may not have the right person. I'm trying to remember. KJ.
Yeah, Kayla Jones.
Kayla Jones.
Was it Kayla Jones? I feel like it was Kayla. I could be. I have the wrong person, but regardless, she was working with some people to help build her post basketball life, doing design and stuff like that. So, that's just one piece of the puzzle.
It's probably Kai Crutchfield.
That's what it is. Thank you. That's who it was, Kai. And I should know better because I love Kai. I just was drawing blanks, but she worked with Pack of Wolves and they got hooked up with some business folks to help develop her thing. So where we're going with this is it's beneficial to the player. Like it helps them, while they're in college, but it also helps them post-college to figure out their career paths.
And then it helps us as fans. And then they, most importantly, like you say, okay, that's great. But it helps you as a fan because then they like what I was saying is, so since Savage Wolves NIL goes towards the athletes, Wolfpack Club goes towards facilities and coaching staff, things like that, is that if you want to help keep NC student athletes around, donate towards Pack Wolves, Savage Wolves. If you want to pay towards keeping Dorn or getting rid of Dorn, whatever your heart entails you, then you got to donate towards Wolfpack Club because that's going to be the money that's going to go towards Dorn's buyout or keeping Dorn around. Like I'm not promoting one way or the other, but I'm just saying whichever way your heart desires, maybe on that side of the fence, maybe Wolfpack Club would be more your area. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think Wolfpack Club pays coaches' salaries. I think that comes from the athletic department. Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay. Well, then somebody earlier.
So what the Wolfpack Club does do, what the Wolfpack Club kind of does, is the last part of what you said for coaches buyouts and stuff like that. That is a thing, but technically,
yes, the buyouts have to come from the boosters. Yeah.
Technically, the coach is actually a state employee because he is paid by the athletic department. So
learn some new day.
Yeah, but can I answer David's question here in the chat real quick because this is important. So you can do different things with these different Pack of Wolves, Savage Wolves. Like Michael was saying about team experiences, they'll do raffles, they'll do drawings, so you can donate a one-time, buy raffle tickets. But each of these programs do have different tiered levels that get you different levels of access. We'll make sure either in the chat. Yep, Michael's got his ball that cost him $500, so congrats. But but he was trying to get a bigger prize, and so that
was from just joining Savage Wolves.
That was your joining gift. Yeah. So long story short, you can join different tiers and you get different levels of gifts and access. We'll make sure we either put it in the chat or the Discord if you're part of that, or we'll tweet it out. They're links. Go out and check them out. And like Leighton said, figure out what works for you and your budget because we all have different levels of spending capability. So, but it's definitely worth looking into. Also, real cheap plug. Tom Lavosi is looking for someone that can develop a website. So if you know somebody, reach out to him because they're trying to go next level and keep building that brand.
I think I heard it from Wolfpack Club. I think the minimum payment is like $120 a year.
It's not even that. It's $75.
$75 a year. So I mean, that's what
it equals $12 a month. That they did it like that. It's 12 times. 10 times
12 is 60.
Maybe it is 120. I thought it was cheaper than that. Yeah, maybe it is.
120 a year is still really cheap. That's only $10 a month.
Or two lattes.
Yeah, 2 lattes. Yeah, $10 a month, so $120 a year. But we've had Ben Broussard, the head of Wolfpack Club, on board saying, "Hey, listen, if you
take $25,
$25 or $5 a month, like I don't care. Like at the end of the day, it's just you're putting your money. You're basically handing money, and in my eyes, kind of adding your ownership, quote unquote, into it because now you have money invested into it. Like just like you're putting, you're buying stock in the program, you're buying stock in the athletic department. That's kind of how I look at it. So, and the other side, which I'll say as well with Savage Wolves, Pack Wolf side, yeah, they do have set bars, but then I guarantee if you reach out to Chris with Pack of Wolves, or if you reach out to Tom with Savage Wolves, same thing with Ben. If you can only donate $20 this one time, they'll gladly take it and say thank you, and probably maybe even send you something still for it. So absolutely, please do not reach out. And again, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us directly by Instagram, Twitter, whatever that may be. We'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction. So anyway, y'all, well, I think that kind of wraps us up here. Again, I mean, it's been, a little bit over an hour, 15 minutes on this, so hopefully kind of gave you a little bit of, food for thought, for, football, but everything even outside of football as well, y'all. And
hey, this just in, we're not going to lose this weekend.
Hey, let's go. We're not going to lose. I love it. Y'all.
I love to see it.
I love it. But I got to give a huge shout out to this is the chat was absolutely phenomenal. Thank you all so much for being involved and providing your comments, thoughts into the chat box as well. The other thing which I'll say as well is, again, with Tuffy Talk team expanding, we have more and more people to focus their time and attention to really helping to grow this channel around what Wolfpack Nation wants it to be. At the end of the day, we're not a one-trick pony. We're not doing one thing over and over again. We really are multidimensional, whether that's through vlogs, through things NC fans never say, through live shows, watch parties, episodes, you name it. So if you have any feedback for us, please reach out to us by email, either at email at tuffytalks1617@gmail.com, or again, reach out to us through social media. We'd love to hear your feedback on it. And again, we'll have our men's and women's basketball previews here out soon. So make sure you do not miss out on that. Hit that free subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified all your devices whenever we come out with any new NC State content. And then also to make sure, if you enjoyed this conversation, please do us a big favor, hit that like button, as it really helps support us in the channel. And make sure to give us a follow, Tuffy Talk Now, on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, y'all. But huge shout out once again to Lindsay Ware for joining the Tuffy Talk team once again, y'all. Thank you, Lindsay, for being on here with us. And thank you, Wolfpack Nation, for being as awesome as you are. Keep it going, and we'll see y'all soon. Go Pack, y'all, baby.